After the previous episode, I am now terrified about what's behind the mirrors, so I can no longer go to the bathroom. Or I guess bed. So, let's watch some anime, which happens to be more Gintama. Hopefully this will relieve me of my night terrors of... well, Sachan. I doubt it. But as long as this one doesn't include inhaling copious amounts of gas, we should be fine. Now what does this one have in store? I believe we were shown a little glimpse of some characters coming together in the little preview, and one of which we haven't really seen much of recently. Actually, probably two of them. And surprisingly, actually, apart from the times he was killed off, we haven't seen much of Hasegawa. Or the other homeless. The master of the homeless. And since we saw the morning routine of Gintoki and everyone in the previous one, are we going to get, say, lunchtime or maybe bedtime preparations? As I thought. And how long have you been waiting there, Zura? I'm half expecting Katsura to have been waiting there for maybe a day. You know, he knew he was going to be on screen. The fact they're doing it like a school reunion with a really crappy banner. I want nothing to do with this. He appeared, he showed his face, good enough, you can go home now. I mean, does why are both of them so hell bent on making sure they I think I need some merchandise of those two. Why are they so hell bent on getting him to stay? Ah, that's why. Because without Gintoki, they are nothing. Free food and drink, though. That would give you a good enough reason to stay. All. This isn't all. Come up with some, brainstorms, some storyboards of future episodes. And we've got to get back into the history of this sooner or later. I feel like I should know that reference, but nothing's coming to mind. Well, even if they want to watch it or not, that's what we will get anyway, isn't it? Because Gintama's never been one to hold back. It's always thrust it right down our throats. They were such good students. Yeah, reliving the good moments because they don't have a lot going on right now. I mean, whenever there's a space story or someone needs a lift to somewhere, that's when he can appear in the story. They will force it themselves if they have to. You know, it could be a thing to get them all together for easy pickings. Or maybe there is someone who just is homesick. Or are they going to show off someone who is like a background character, but we're being led to think of someone else? The White Devil. Rampaging Noble. Not the catchiest. What was it? So all of them had relatively good names. And then there's the loud fellow. With their powers combined... Oh wait, that's something else. Please don't let that be Hasegawa. So, we have a information gatherer working behind in the shadows. That's not really a signature. One that transcends intellectual properties, it seems. Is it another case of someone inserting themselves into the storyline? They'll just change history to be part of it. At least you have a name to go by. You don't have to have that awkward moment of, oh yes, it's you. So a supporting class. Of course not. Is it mole people again? Ah, no, an idol concert. Ah, basketball. I mean, the same thing, really. And it was your downfall. there are certain benefits to having shorter hair, especially when it stops enemies. I don't want to see him tongue it, grabbing hold of your hair. If you're that dehydrated, but this is just an extended advert, isn't it? So that's what it meant. He saved his life. And yet you remember nothing about the guy itself. Just, oh, he gave me a water. A nice, refreshing, chilled to a sorbet state water. No wonder they're such good samurai. The skills transfer. The thing is, even if they did remember something genuinely important, could you trust any of it of actually being real? Yep, he's definitely removing those aliens. The worst kind of horror. This could be one of those horror stories all in of itself. I mean, it is October. I saw the water on the... well, sports drink, I guess. Is it carbonated? Refreshing and clean. He must have left it there. So these extended flashbacks are the most important part of the story so far. We know that for sure. You see, this is more of a story. And then remember, you got to keep hydrated in battles like this. Are we actually going to have a resolution to this? I feel like the final reveal is going to be one of those fake outs. I mean, there it is. The hidden fifth member. It does seem accurate, though. It doesn't want to spend actually an extortionate amount. So even when they are practically dying first, really getting down into the nitty gritty here. For fuck's sake. Is this the important part that you need to divulge? Gintama really does like its kind of extended wasting of your life moments, focusing on the unimportant part of the story. Don't get your hopes up. It's all his fault. You see, who's the biggest enemy here? Is it the aliens invading the planet? Or is it a lot closer? Is he here to lend out some spare change? No. This is what it was, wasn't it? It was an extended entrapment just to get him to hand over some money. You have a visitor. Everyone run. Well, you're still missing a member. Kintoki. One of them seems to have a little bit more on the line. Almost like 10 times more. Just what you would expect, really, among friends. Friends might be pushing it, though. Let's go take a stroll down memory lane once more, shall we? Shinsuke. Ah. We have a feminist. Hit him again. Of course he wouldn't appear in the flesh. Are we going to see any more of the underlings, or just this one? We see more of him than we do anyone else on that side, especially Shinsuke. Are you gonna portray really important information regarding your hidden fifth member? We're getting a flashback told through a third party. And how was it? Does he have the money to pay for it? Is that why it's on him this time? So did you... He's actually just Yakult. Anyway. Are you just getting meetings mixed up now? How many parties does he get invited to? There's a fridge. Barney? How many letters did he bring here? Well, I don't remember which pocket you're actually looking in. Why don't you read it first before you relay the message? I'm sure it has special meaning. The truth is only yet to be shown. Is it because it's in a can instead of a bottle this time? And how have they come to this realization, and why are they so shaken by it? He's beginning to remember. I think we've seen that roof before. Now, it's kind of what I expected. No actual reveal. We got to see a leg and a back of some clothing. But that's the end of this episode. Next one, we're moving on to a different story. God damn it. Do we really expect any less from Gintama? I mean, how many of our lives are joined in a way that we couldn't expect, even if it was just from some energy drink? Maybe we're all intrinsically linked. But there have been many, many people I have forgotten through the years. It might take more than a bottle or a can to spark any particular memories. More basketball. You're actually continuing the story. I guess we may actually find out. Unfortunately, we are going to have to wait a week. Now, honestly, I really hope you remember me for more than just, well, sports drink. But at the same time, I'm not sure how that would actually trigger any memories. Seeing someone act like a moron out on the street, I can understand. But I was so looking forward to Shinsuke making an appearance, and I was, once again, dreadfully disappointed. But luckily though, we got to see Katsura and some others wearing shorts, which more than makes up for it. If there was a group of people from your past that you would want to have a reunion with, do you think it would go down like this? Do you think they'd have interesting stories to tell you? Or just inane ramblings and see that their lives have spiraled into complete obscurity and nothingness? What I do know is, though, someone has to be paying for this. Who's that bill going to be landed with? And Gintoki has to be kind of careful with Katsura and Sakamoto. You know, dead men can't really pay. But this is fun, a nostalgic little journey back with memory lanes, past events, things that may or may never have happened. Pretty sure we all want to see more, or at least want to idle through this until something actually happens. If you enjoyed, let me know down below, leave a comment and a like. If you want to see more, subscribe to the channel. But for now, I'm a bit parched, so I'm going to go get a refreshing beverage. You may want to take a rest. See you in the next one. My patrons are the not-so-distant friends that hopefully won't be demanding I repay them in the future. So I'll just state it now, you're probably not getting anything back. And now that I've disappointed you all, I need to thank Sal, Electricant, Arthia, Noku, Raywin, Shiwan, Mecha, Matt, Stinsfire, Jennifer Rojas, Girly1234W, Kite, Saltytron, Cardboard, Dark Shadow 7899, Maurizio Lascano, and everyone else. And unfortunately, I don't have a lot of excess drinks to go around.